Should I do more trials or just focus on damage? How do I survive the ram form's hits? How do I do more trials on the lion form? How do I survive the viper form? Why is the chimera so difficult? What if I told you there is an old fusion legendary chilling in your vault who can help you with all of this stuff? Now, who is this legendary and what makes him so good for the chimera? Let's find out. Hey guys, SMZ here. We're back playing Raid Shadow Legends. And guys, today we are talking about this old fusion champion who is a great addition to your Chimera team. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Where is he? Mr. Helicath. Yes, this legendary champion who was released a couple of years ago as a fusion champion, and he was all the talk of the town. He is such a good champion. He has so much in his kit. He was ranked as one of the best legendary fusions in the game at that time, and he still holds up. He's really good. I have recently experimented using him in the Chimera, and he is pretty good. What makes him so good? Let's quickly look at his kit. So he has a block damage. Now your first question would be, oh, I can use any block damage champions. The problem is, block damage is useful just on the ram form, and you need so many rolls to do more trials on the Chimera. And doing more trials is much better than just doing outright damage. It also scales better in your clash points, as well as it gives you more gemstones as well as more mats to craft relics. So which are definitely better compared to just doing the Chimera Clash for points, at least at this stage in time. So what makes him better is he does not just bring block damage in his kit. So he brings block damage. When the block damage expires, he does bring increased defense, which is also needed for one of the trials. What else does he bring? He brings counter attack, which is also needed for one of the trials. What else does he bring? He brings shields, another thing that's needed for one of the lion trials. And he brings a very chunky shield. It's based on his defense, and you can pump his defense very high. He has pretty good stats. What else does he bring? He brings a weaken debuff, which is necessary on, I think, one of the trials. But more than that, it helps in the ram form at the very start in a very specific way. I'm going to jump into that and show you. So I tested this out on a video fairly recently on stream, and I am going to just jump into that right away. But just want to take a brief second before I jump in to quickly say that I am approaching the 1,000 sub number, which will allow me to apply for the content creator program at Plarium, which will allow me to test more builds like this and bring you more similar content. So please help me get there by hitting the subscribe button and liking the video, commenting on the video. All of that helps. So let's jump in. So let me first jump into the ram form, right? So this is from a stream. You will see me in the background right here. So I'm trying to cover my current self with my past self on the stream. If something comes up, that's what it is. So as you can see, Helicath is part of the team. This is the team I've been using. Marius is my main damage dealer, and it works with just having one damage dealer as well. Previously, I was using Marius and Newt. Arbais is a very good support. She's a mythical. She can be subbed in by Nekmothar if you have him, who's pretty good. Lydia is kind of irreplaceable in this team. She brings so much. And then Elva is the reviver, who can be substituted by someone like Pythion, but that will throw away one of the trials because Elva brings Veil, which is necessary for one of the Ramform trials. Now, one thing to note in fighting the Chimera is, one thing is doing more trials. The other thing is doing trials early. The earlier you do trials, the earlier this multiplier number right here goes up, which means your clash points will go up significantly the faster you do trials. The problem is that the ram form is the first form that he changes into on turn 5. And that form is the most difficult to deal with. And that's the form in which, if you look at the trials that you can do, you can theoretically do a lot of trials if it weren't for the reflect damage from the ram form. That is where Helicath comes in. Now watch this clip. So just before going into the ram form on turn 5, what I will do is I will put block damage. Watch this. So he's about to turn. It's turn 5 already. Cycling through. I get to Helicath. And now I will put block damage on. He switches. Watch this very carefully. So what happens is he attacks, right? He immediately attacks. He's going after your highest defense champion. In this case, I put Taunt on. That's why he's going after Arwise. But when he attacks, what does Helicath do? Helicath counterattacks. Not only does he counterattack, watch this. With the counterattack, he plays to weaken. Now, why is this crucial? This is crucial because the ram form throws back the first debuff you put on him. This weaken is not very useful. So I'm happy if it gets thrown away. He throws that away, as you will see. There it goes. Now what we can do, we can immediately place the fear. I'm just waiting to get to Lydia. Lydia comes in. She will place the fear. Fear is necessary to do that one trial. And now Marius is under block damage. Normally with Marius, when he hits, he will hit once and he will die. What that means is he will do that one hit. If he's built well, he'll do 1 million damage. That is nowhere close to doing the trial. With the block damage on, now watch this. He will do all 3 of his hits. There's the trial done in one hit. Do you see that? That's crazy. Helicath enables that. So he did a few things, if I recap quickly. Block damage going into the ram form allowed the weaken to land, which was thrown away, which is what we want, because we want the fear to go on. Fear went on. Block damage is still on Marius, so he was able to do this trial super quickly. Now the block damage will run out. You can do the second trial, which is on here on the screen, which is put increase accuracy from Marius and then put the debuffs on. You can do this trial. You can do this trial. For this, you need Marius' HP to drop slightly, which once the block damage runs out, if you take a turn, hopefully Marius doesn't fully die. He'll be the lowest HP. Elva will give him the whale. So you will be able to do quite a few trials in this particular run. Again, this is part of the stream that I did a couple of days ago. I'm happy to link that stream in the description as well as it should appear here. Check out that stream if you have the time. And now I'll just continue the fight. I'll just go on slightly further to show you that once this form is done, at turn 10, I am leaving. Again, I got a little unlucky, which was why I wasn't able to do the central trial by this time, but I will walk out of the ram form on the first try with 4 trials. Turn 10, 4 trials. That increases the multiplier significantly. This is Ultra Nightmare, by the way. We're talking about Ultra Nightmare. Not only are our champions pretty healthy, but also they are going into the ultimate form. So this is another thing that leads me into the ultimate form. So he also helps with the ultimate form if you build him like I have built him. So as you can see, the block damage is protected. What that means is once he turns, which should be relatively soon. Come on, turn. I'm just quickly cycling through. So he turns. Okay, I was talking a lot in the stream. So what happens is in this case, it ran out. But what happens is when you turn into the ultimate form, especially in the later stages of the fight, when you have high number of trials, which is what you're aiming for with this team, the ultimate form of the Chimera is going to smack hard. Sometimes it's difficult to survive. That's also where his block damage will come into play if you have him in 9-piece protection. Because your block damage will be protected. He won't be able to remove it, which means your champions are likely to survive. You will not spend a significant portion of the ultimate form just reviving your champions. Again, I'm talking about the later stage of the fight where he hits very hard, ignoring a lot of the stuff. So that is how he's helpful at the ram form and how he can also help a little bit with the ultimate form. Now let's talk about the lion form. So with the lion form, it was 1 minute 8. Should be around about here. So with the lion form, with this particular team, which is similar, a lot of people are currently using max HP champions, right? Now, the thing with max HP champions is that they are great damage dealers. At the moment, there are no ignore defense bonuses, kind of similar to how Hydra was at the start, where the max HP champions were the king. Then area bonuses were unlocked, and now they fell off in favor of the other damage dealers. It's similar case here, except the problem is there are a couple of trials on the line form that are locked out to max HP damage dealers. That's also where Helicath can help. So what Helicath does, and this is a pretty funny clip. This is due to Marius wearing 9-piece Slayer. Marius's 9-piece Slayer actually, the extra hit, the bonus hit, actually counts into the non-max HP damage. So watch this. I was able to do. Let's go. Very soon. So actually, let's look at the trials. So these are the starting trials, right? Increased defense. Again, I am getting it for Marius, but you can technically also get it from Helicath once his block damage runs out, which you will have to time it very well. He will also help out with this trial right here, which a lot of people get locked out. This is the one I'm talking about, the max HP damage, because he can do damage. If you build him for damage, he will do very good damage on both his A2 and his A1. He also does counterattack, which is also another trial. But again, let's go back to this. So I have the leech, I have the setup ready. Now watch this. I am on 2 trials at the moment. Come on, I'm just waiting for Marius to take a turn. Boom, boom, boom. 3 trials done in 1 hit. That's nuts. So he allows you flexibility. In this case, it was Marius's Slayer proc, but he also allows you to do this trial, which a lot of people struggle with, right? There's an additional trial here, which is with counterattack, which also he helps you do. There's an additional trial at the Lion form, which is about taking damage on shields, which is also he can help with. That is a bit more difficult to do because it's not cumulative, so it doesn't go from the first Lion form turn to the second one. I hope they can change that. That trial will become a little bit easier, but he certainly helps here significantly. And if you're able to do that, let's see if I actually showcase this on the stream. The hard trial on the one side, right over here, it's also about taking damage from block damage and unkillable, which again, he'll help with. One thing to keep in mind here is when you are at this trial, the normal trial on the trial 1 part, at this point, make sure that when you're putting out shields to be able to absorb damage, you don't put block damage on yourself. It's something I tested and I actually failed with. But if you do that, then obviously the damage is blocked. So your shield is not absorbing any damage. So be careful with that. Very, very useful on the Lion form as well. Now, that's the Lion form, that's the Ram form, also the ultimate form, but he's also a little useful in the Viper form. How, you ask? Let's go to the Viper form. So what's the timestamp I have? 1:15, right about here. So he's switching into the Viper form. Now, the trouble with the Viper form is you need block active skills, not just to lock out his crazy skills, but also that he does not to do your trial, the first trial, as well as to make sure that he doesn't use his crazy abilities on you, which is he throws the debuffs, he puts poison. Now, Helicath also helps here. You see these poisons going on you and poison sensitivity? These poisons can kill you if you don't cleanse them. I do have Elva in the team to cleanse, but I also have Helicath. At this point, once he's put the poisons out, what you can do is you can simply put the block damage here. You will not take any damage from poisons. Also useful at the Viper form. Sorry about that, I accidentally hit the microphone. But yeah, extremely useful champion. Another great thing about Helicath is that he was a fusion champion. What that means is a lot of people, especially if you've been playing since then, will have access to him. How I have built him is in a 9-piece protection set, and I have a 5-star blessing on him from back in the day, and I put cruelty, which actually helps him a lot. I obviously have him in fully booked out, again from back in the day, and I put this relic on him, which increases his defense every time he takes damage, which helps with the chunkiness of his shield, it helps with his damage, it helps with his survivability. So I have him in 9-piece protection. I do have him in a damage build as well. So I'm trying to give him as much damage as possible. Crit damage on the gauntlets. Defense, a little bit of accuracy to be able to land that weaken, especially with increased accuracy. He has enough accuracy to land. Speed, and then crit damage. I need to roll this into crit damage as well. This should ideally be defense, but then again, it's a bit difficult to have the right accessories for your champions when it comes to the protection set. And then resistance here, again, that's just because it's the only piece which has very high speed. That's why I put it on him. The build can definitely be improved. These are the numbers I have at the moment. Around 70k HP, 5k defense, 261 speed, Almost full on the crit rate. I should check this. I need to improve the crit damage even more. 337 accuracy. And these are the masteries. The War Master actually helps out significantly because he's attacking quite often with the counter attacks when the block damage is on. So there you have it, guys. Helicath can actually be very useful. If I've done my calculations right, if everything goes smoothly, he can do up to 14 or 15 trials. In addition, if you have Marius, for example, you will also have a good number of damage. So you should be able to surpass that 1 key damage even more. I'm able to get to around 200 million with around 12 to 13 to 14 trials, depending on how RNG goes and how many times you are willing to redo. One of the cool things is with the Ram form. Ram form is the most difficult form to deal with, but it is the first form that he transforms into. In case something goes wrong, just restart. It's the same as in the Hydra. If you start off with the decay head and the poison head, and if the provoke doesn't land, you can quickly restart, right? So at the start, at least you can do that, which is great, and I definitely use that to your advantage. But yeah, there you have it, guys. It's a Helicath showcase for the Chimera. I hope some of you will experiment with this, and it will improve not only the number of trials but also your overall clash score. But thank you very much for watching till the end. Really, really appreciate that. Have a great rest of the day and see you next time.